everyone. Jamie Maloney here, host of the all-new That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on TampaBayRadio.com. All shows available on demand on iTunes and over on ThatYouTubeChannel.com. Just put in ThatYouTubeChannel.com. We've made it easy to find all of the high-definition videos available on demand. And also visit ThatBusinessShow.com. All the audios are easily available and shareable on demand over on ThatBusinessShow.com as well. We're going to be talking about stocks, bonds, and a little bit about real estate investing on today's program. We got Anmol Singh, founder and CEO of Live Traders, with us today. You can learn more about this at that website, livetraders.com. So, Anmol, welcome to the program today.
Thanks for having me.
So, first off, tell us a little bit about this. This is a trading platform that you founded several years ago. I think, 2014, am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, and you were an investor yourself. You founded this platform. First off, just tell us about this platform, Live Traders.
Sure. So Live Traders is created as a online trading community, for traders, by traders. And what we basically do is we provide people the training and education that they need in order to take control of their own investments and their trading. And, a lot of people come in who actually want to do this as a full-time career, not really investing, so we help them out to come up with a trading plan for them and give them the strategy that they need to turn this into a career.
Now, what kind of resources?
That, we have, different tools.
What kind of resources are found inside Live Traders? I know years ago I dabbled with some type of stock investing platforms and tools, and never really got into it. I fell into the real estate space myself, but I knew there were platforms that were predicting where a stock would go. I remember a lot about like the double peaks, things like that. Tell me a little bit about how your platform works.
Right. So we've actually done it a little bit differently to give it a more of a personal touch. And rather than just giving people, oh, this looks good or this looks bad, what we actually do is me and my partner, we actually trade live in front of them on a webinar-based platform every single day. So people can see our screens, they can hear our audio in real time while we're actually trading. So I think that's way better because people can see us getting in and out of trades. That helps them learn even better because they can see us win, they can also see us lose. And it just creates a more realistic environment for people to learn. Okay,
so what is your background in the investing world, stocks and bonds? How did you get started? Did you begin just as a day trader, a little bit of cash, and you did well? Just tell me a little about your story.
Sure. So I actually started trading when I was in college. Initially, I started off just doing research, just writing a blog, typing in my thoughts, typing in my research, and then eventually I was contacted by Yahoo Finance to write articles for them on different companies and other websites I used to write articles on. And that was just a research analyst they used to pay me per article, and I was still in college. I enjoyed getting paid per article. And then what I did was I kept on collecting that money. And then once I had enough money, I actually started trading on my own. And, that led me into being hired by a trading firm that hired me as their trader. I used to trade their capital. In exchange, I used to give them a percentage of profits. So that's how I really got my start. But then in 2014, I decided that, I'm going to go out on my own. Now that I have the capital, I don't really need to, somebody else's capital and give them a percentage. So that's why I branched out on my own.
Okay, so Live Traders is a platform. People can invest in any type of security, whether it's stocks, bonds, foreign exchange, all that stuff available on your platform?
Right, so we focus on stocks, options, and Forex. So we don't really do binary trades or anything like that. We mainly just stick to stocks as a day trading and swing trading. And Forex, we do more longer-term trading, but we do have resources for those who look to do, short-term trading.
Okay, and how does your platform work in terms of the service level? I noticed that you also mentioned that you are a consultant to many traders, so I'm sure that's an upper level, availability with your platform. But can people just come on and use that as a user without any type of consulting engagement? How do the different plans work on Live Traders?
Right, so usually people come into our website, they download like a free ebook, they learn a little bit about us, how we trade, our style, they go through the blog post that we have on there. And then from there, they go into one of the programs or the live rooms. So the live rooms is where bulk of the community is, because they come in, they trade live with us every day. Just before this phone call that we're having, I was trading live in front of my members and, calling trades and, showing them what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So that's where people really come in. They pick a style, either Forex or stocks. Both have their separate trading rooms that people go into. where they can chat with other traders, and then they can also watch us trade live. So that's one of the things that's people where they come in from.
Is this a platform designed for people of all skill levels, from beginners to intermediate to advanced traders? Can people of all walks of investing get something from this?
Correct. Everybody comes in, and we have beginners, we have experts, we have fund managers, we have all sorts of people that come in. Of course, somebody who's totally brand new might take a couple weeks to, learn what we're even talking about. But apart from that, we get all sorts of people in here.
Now, the beginners, do they just kind of come in there, and you said you trade in front of them? Do they just copy what you're doing, or do they make their own decisions?
Right. So initially, people come in with the hopes of just copying, but we make it pretty clear that that's not why we're here. We're here to teach. We're here so you can come up with your own plan and not just rely on us. But people do come in. They do, take most of our trades that we're taking. They kind of trade with us as a team. But however, we have educational programs as well that people can sign up for online. They can sign up for one of our courses or, one-on-one coaching. And, that's where they do bulk of the learning. The room is kept mainly for people who've maybe gone through the program or know a little bit about trading, and that they can actually, follow what we're actually doing there.
How does Live Traders then differentiate itself from some of the other trading platforms that are on the marketplace out there? Is it the education and the skill of you and your team, or are there certain tools inside the program that are different from some of those other trading platforms?
Well, the biggest difference, I would say, is transparency. A lot of the other firms focus on, selling courses or programs, but we're actually executing what they've learned in a program in front of their eyes every single day. The room runs from Monday to Friday. So what they learned in the course, they can actually see us applying what they've learned in real time. And I think that's the best part about it, is the transparency, because even if I'm down on the day, they can see it live in front of their screens because they get to see everything.
Right.
So that's one of the biggest differentiators, is the transparency.
So what drew you to the investing world? You said you've been doing this since college. You've been stocks and bonds, also real estate, also invested in tech companies. I mean, you're a serial entrepreneur. What is it? Were you just naturally drawn and skilled in investing, or was it something you had to teach yourself and learn some hard lessons through some investments?
Right. So, I would love to have a reason why I got into trading, but it all comes down to, one word, which is money. I saw people doing really well in the stock market. You grew up watching movies where that the stock market is a place where, money can be made. So that's what initially drew me to it. But then when I eventually started trading, I got this urge of curiosity to learn more, because every day is a challenge. And I think that's what I enjoy. I've never had a job before, before being a consultant on my own. I've never had a job. So I don't think I'm suitable for a job position where you're doing the same task over and over.
Right.
That's why I gravitated towards trading, where every day is a challenge.
How much does fundamentals, because I have a degree in finance and I can remember studying this. I've just dabbled in it a handful of times and never done anything much with stocks and bonds investing. How much does fundamentals of a company come into play with valuation versus maybe just sheer luck or maybe inside information? Talk to me a little bit about succeeding in stocks or in day trading and stock and bond investing.
Right. So the type of trading that we do is focus on technical-based trading, which is focus on the prior history of the stock and, the charts and the graphs and what they're doing, and coming up with strategies based on that. So there's a difference there. If you're focusing on investing, which is long-term, where you plan on holding stock for 3 years, 5 years minimum, then yes, you would like to know fundamentals. You would like to know it's a good company, it's not going to go out of business, a company has some growth prospects. So fundamentals come in only when you plan on holding stuff for 3-5 years minimum, right? If you're doing shorter term trading like I am doing, where we're getting in and out of stocks every day, or maybe holding it for a few minutes, or holding it for a few days or a few weeks, in that case of trading, the fundamentals don't apply at all. A lot of times I don't even know the names of the companies that I'm trading, because I'm strictly trading based on the charts.
So what is it, a course in statistics at that point? So you're basing your decisions on statistical models at that point versus fundamentals then in day trading?
Correct, but statistics, not in a traditional form of statistics. It's mainly based on pictures. So graphs, we have a certain way a pattern should look on a chart. And obviously those patterns will have their own statistics, like this pattern has a 58% chance of winning. And if it has a 58% chance of winning, you just keep pushing the button, because overall it's going to be profitable. right?
Right.
So that's what we're trying to do. We find patterns with probabilities.
Now, when day trading, I know a lot of people get into the options market. I heard you mention the options market earlier. How lucrative is that, and how difficult is it to really understand the options market?
I think options are really, really easy to understand, but you can always complicate anything because options are simple. In a nutshell, I mean, if I was to explain options to somebody, I could probably explain it in less than 5 minutes. But I'm going to save you the trouble for that. But options are easy to learn in that regard. However, you can create, complex strategies from options, which is the complex part. But just learning basic options and how to utilize that in your own trading is a really simple thing to learn.
Yeah, I remember, like I said, I have a degree in finance, and I remember in my advanced investments class, one of the projects for the semester was designing 20 different financial models in Excel based on whatever it is we had to do. I look at them today, and this was 15 years ago, and I was like, I don't know how the heck I figured this out, but they're very, very complicated, with graphs and numbers and lines intersecting all over the place. But yeah, you're right. It can definitely get very complicated. I got to take a break here. Currently talking with Anmol Singh. He's the founder and CEO of Live Traders, an online trading platform where you can actually see in real time and work with him on trades. He shows you what he and his team are trading in and out of, both on a daily basis and a long-term basis. And so whether you're a beginner, an intermediary, or an advanced user, or I should say an investor of stocks, bonds, options, you can definitely benefit from checking out his platform, livetraders.com. Coming back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more about where he sees the stock market going. We all know it's at record highs right now. What's driving that? Is that going to keep going that way? Also, he's been involved in real estate investing and also funded a couple of tech companies too. So he's an all-around investor in various walks of life. So we talk a little bit more with him when we come back from the break. You're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeagers. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeagers, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Hey everyone, Jamie Maloney back here again on That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on TampaBayRadio.com. All shows made available on demand on iTunes and on YouTube. Currently talking with Anmol Singh, founder and CEO of Live Traders, an online trading platform that works with people in all areas of skill level and investments. And you can also see them trade in real time, the creator, Anmol Singh, and his team. And so you can really learn stock and bond investing, options investing with Anmol, a very skilled investor. Learn more at livetraders.com. So Anmol, I just got some questions about the stock market. We're at record high here, 20,000 on the Dow. Everybody's saying it's because of this or it's because of that. It's going to go here. It's not going to go there. Well, first off, why are we at record highs on the Dow, in your opinion, and where is it going?
Right. I think we're at a high, not really because of any fundamental reason, although the policies that, the new president has been saying are pro-growth for the market. So that's what the reason the market is going up. It's fueled by the rallies in the banks. The banks are going up. All the bank stocks have been going up. That's because Trump said he's going to, take out the Dodd-Frank regulation, which is going to increase revenues for the banks. So when the banks go up, what happens is the market follows because the banks always lead the market. So that's one of the reasons. Second reason is a lot of the steel stocks have been going up because, he's been talking about how whatever steel projects are going to happen, they're going to use American steel. He's just saying that every single day. And because of that, the steel stocks are going up. So when the steel stocks go up, when the banks go up, the market has to follow, right? Because the market is made up of stocks.
Right.
When the stock's going up, the market will go up.
Now, let me ask you this. I hear so much about tech and the opportunities in tech. The NASDAQ is a collection, in my understanding, of tech companies, but we don't see the movement inside the NASDAQ like we were seeing in the Dow. Why do we not see as much movement in the NASDAQ if tech is all the rave?
Right. One of the reasons for that is because increasingly what's happening is NASDAQ has a lot of, and it used to only be tech stocks a few years ago, but now in the NASDAQ we have biotech stocks, healthcare stocks. We have, a lot of other industries now inside NASDAQ. And some of the tech stocks, if you say, Twitter, GoPro, or a lot of these ones, they haven't been doing that well. So it all kind of balances itself out. Whereas the Dow's only 30 stocks.
Right.
Dow is only 30 stocks. So if those 30 stocks are going up, the Dow is always going to do better than NASDAQ, whereas NASDAQ has thousands and thousands of stocks. So, that kind of balances things out. And Dow only has all the big stocks like, Johnson & Johnson or whatever. But those stocks have been really strong recently, and that's probably one of the reasons it's been going up. And also, one thing to note is whenever Trump holds these meetings, he calls them the listeners meeting, right? Business meeting. He's listening to all the business leaders, and all of the business leaders are companies that are in the Dow,
Right.
So think about it in that perspective, that if they're close to the president, they're going to have good things come for them.
Right.
And that's probably one of the reasons why people see anticipation in the movement.
Now, what about the Fed interest rate? It's been, 0, or I don't know where it's at now. It's still, I think, below 1%. A lot of talk about how that influences the market, and it's only got one direction to go, and that is up. Wards off inflation. There are a lot of people say there's no problem with inflation, but things are 10 times as costly as they were in 1980. I don't know how inflation is not a problem. I just don't really understand all of that entirely. But, how is the Fed interest rate and, fighting inflation going to come into play in the market over the next few years?
Right. So I can give you my brief general overview regarding that. But as far as, my trading is concerned, since we're doing it so technically, it all comes down in the end to what the chart looks like, what the pattern looks like, what the stats say. So a lot of my trading, I don't factor in any of these decisions or interest rates because, I'm getting in and out based on the technical chart. However, that being said, the Fed is raising interest rates, which is, usually causes a little downward movement in the market. But what's also happening now is that Fed's raising interest rates because they think that the economy is now in a good position, that it's healthy, and now they can finally raise the rates. So what that does is it sends mixed signals. We're raising rates, which is not good, but at the same time, we're raising rates because the economy is now good, right? So if the economy is good, the market continues to stay strong. And that is one of the reasons why, I don't think the raising rates is really going to affect it that much as it would have if they raised it, let's say, last year. If they raised it last year, it would have probably caused some sort of a decline or a sell-off. But now that they're doing it, it's already up so much and, it's healthy. The economy is healthy. Its optimism is already there that people don't really, they don't really care about the interest rates being raised.
For somebody who wants to get into day trading, what would you advise in terms of how much, disposable capital that they have, and how much time does it take to really learn and understand what maybe not at your level, but enough to make somebody, a player in the day trading market? How much time do they need to invest?
Right. So this is an answer that most people are not going to like because of the fact that I'm brutally honest. Is don't expect to make anything, at least in your first 6 months. You might make money, but just come up with the expectation that you're not going to make it. And I personally didn't make any money my whole first year of trading. I only started making money in the second year once I sorted out my own psychological issues, because that's one of the reasons, people don't talk about. But your mindset has a lot to do with the market, right? Because you are the one pushing the button. So it has a lot to do. And the whole first year I was battling with my own self. So the first year I didn't make any money, but second year onwards is when I started doing really well. And from every year, it kept on getting better. So I think when new people come in, they're going to go through those same emotions when your money is on the line. So it will take 6 months to adapt to that as a minimum.
Yeah, you definitely got to have a strong mindset to sit through a year of losses and bad decision making and just see yourself lose and lose and lose. What you said you had to battle your own psychological issues. What was it? Were you just fighting against what all the experienced people were saying, thinking, no, that can't be right, that can't be right, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it this way? What was the issue that you overcame that allowed you to be a more effective trader?
Right, it's the ability to admit that you can be wrong, right? It's the ego that you have to control, because in trading, we often say, do you want to make money or do you want to be right? And I wanted to be right. That's one of the things where stock is going against you and your chart or your pattern strategy says to get out, but you're still holding in the hopes that it comes back up. Right. And that's the issue that a lot of traders will have when they start. It's the issue that every trader goes through, and so did I, is the thing that, okay, you could be wrong. It's all right. Take your small little loss and move on to the next trade rather than hoping that one stock comes back, because sometimes they won't.
Right.
They won't come back.
And how much money does somebody need to have to get started? I mean, do they need a spare 50, a spare 100,000, more or less, to kind of get through that first year? What would you advise in terms of capital to have sitting in an account to play with?
Right. So a good thing nowadays is you don't need a lot of capital as you did, let's say, 5 years ago. Now the brokerage companies, they accept smaller accounts and you're able to trade with that. So as far as if you're looking to trade currencies, the foreign exchange, I mean, you can literally start with $500, right? Because most brokers will open an account with $100 in Forex.
Wow.
And there's no regulation in Forex as to, you not being able to day trade or anything like that. And you also get a lot of leverage. The Forex brokers will give you 100 times your capital or 500 times your capital. Some offshore brokers give 2,000 times your capital.
Wow.
So if you start with $500, you're getting all that money to play with. And, and if you know what you're doing, you could really boost your returns from that.
But if you don't,
as far as stock trading is concerned, if you don't, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna lose your money, in a blink of an eye.
Right.
So that's one of the things you have to be aware of.
Now, you also have been a real estate investor. How much of your time do you divide between stocks and bonds versus real estate these days?
So real estate now, real estate is one of those businesses that the effort mainly goes in when you're, looking for an opportunity and then actually, buying the property. Once you've actually bought it, it's pretty hands-off if you know what you're doing, because now they're property management companies, right?
Right.
Give them a little bit of capital. Sure, your returns are going to go down just a little bit, but at least you don't have to manage it, right? So what you need to do is once you get a property, right, let's say your mortgage payment on that property is $3,000 a month, and let's say you manage to rent it out at $3,500 a month. Now you're getting $500 a month cash flow, and your mortgage is being paid off. So out of that $500, you find a property management company, give them $200 a month, right? So now you're still making $300 a month of free money, and your mortgage is being paid off. And that's the way I kind of look at it. So you can move on to the next property.
And so do you spend more time, though? Do you enjoy the stocks and the bonds more, or the real estate? I imagine you enjoy the stocks and the bonds more, though, right?
Yeah, because, stocks and bonds I consider it as, I call it two ways of investing. One is income producing. The other is wealth building. So real estate is wealth building, right? That's growing. I'm looking to create cash and just grow some amount to a bigger amount. So that's wealth building. It's more passive. It's more long-term. Whereas stocks is income producing, where I'm looking to, rely on that to pay my bills. So stock trading is more income producing. You're generating cash flow. You're generating income. Real estate is more wealth building, where you're looking long term.
Now, in the marketplace, in the stock market long term, where are the opportunities for people that are long term investors? Should they be buying up tech stocks? What would you say?
I think long term, for now, I would just advise, stay out. So, you missed a lot of the moves. So, I hate to tell people to stay out because they always like me to give them like a pick or something. Mm-hmm. But I would advise just hold off for a little bit. Market's been going up since 2008. Mm-hmm. It's not really the best time to start investing right now. It's a really good time to trade because with trading, you're getting in, getting out every single day. You're not really, you're not holding or you're having risk.
Right.
So trading it's a brilliant trading market to get in and out every single day or weeks, or holding stuff for a few days or weeks. But as far as long term is concerned, I would stay out of it right now. I mean, almost everything is, just going up, and up. And it could still continue to go up, and you might feel like it miss it. But I have a big saying in trading, which is I'd rather be out wishing I was in than being in and wishing I was out.
Well, good discussion, and I appreciate the good, brutal, honest answers. And hopefully some of our listeners and viewers will take you up here and visit livetraders.com. So, Anmol, greatly appreciate you stopping by, and we wish you the best on the trading floor.
Sure, thanks for having me. Nice chat.
Absolutely. Again, that was Anmol Singh, founder and CEO of Live Traders. Learn more at livetraders.com. Also, more about us on TampaBayRadio.com. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., and also available on demand on iTunes and also on YouTube. Just go to thatyoutubechannel.com. And also, please subscribe to us. That helps grow the channel, and leave some reviews and leave some comments. It really helps engagement on our channel. Again, you've been listening to That Business Show 2.0. Where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeagers. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeagers, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring type products: hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Hey everyone, Jamie Maloney here, host of the all-new That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., now on TampaBayRadio.com and also on demand over on iTunes and our YouTube channel as well. Just go to that YouTube channel, and also you can catch us via the live stream, also in the YouTube channel each and every morning. So please subscribe and get notifications and reminders each and every morning about the program, which talks with different business owners, community and political leaders, and looks to inspire entrepreneurship. And that's why I do this show each and every day, is to inspire you to step outside of your box and become an entrepreneur. And we've talked to thousands of them on this program, going back to 2015 when we launched on iHeart radio station 1250 WHNZ. And now we're out there in the podcasting and the live video streaming space. Thousands upon thousands of listeners and viewers catch this program each and every morning, and we'd like to hear your story as well. Go to tbsinterview.com and you can find out more about how to come onto this program as our guest. So we're with Brad Molnar today. He is the founder of Modern Health Coach. You can learn more about him at modernhealthcoach.com, and it's all about healthy living, something that I don't know too much about myself. Like I said, people who know me well know I talk about the problems I have with healthy living and healthy eating, and so maybe Brad can motivate and share some tips with me today. So Brad, how are you doing today?
Hi, Jamie. Great. Thanks for the opportunity to come on and merge health and wealth. That's the key. The better you feel, the more you get done. So we'll try to expound on that here in a bit.
Now, tell us first, you are living off the grid somewhere out in, was it Arizona or something?
Yeah, I'm in eastern Arizona near the New Mexico line, about 6,400 feet up, living off grid on 40 acres, running on solar and a satellite phone that I'm talking to you on. And my wife and I got a little cabin in the woods. And, I grew up in Pittsburgh, lived in New York, LA, went to Sedona, met my wife, and then got some land up here 3 hours east of Sedona, and working remotely on the website, and now just starting to push in town with people and do some services here outside of Show Low, 2 words, Show Low, Arizona. So it's a whole different life. It's a lot of challenge, but it's worth it.
You hear so often that people say that they're going to go off the grid, and but nobody ever really does. But what inspires you to actually do that, and what is it? Tell us how it differs from the everyday grind that all of us business owners and entrepreneurs are so used to in city environments.
Well, you got to spend a little more time. I'm still hauling water. You got to spend a little more time on the basics until we're up and running. But for me to get up here, it was motivation to get my monthly nut down, to own land. I blew near $200,000 in rent living in New York and LA and Pittsburgh growing up. I'm now 43, so I've had, since college, 20 some years of paying rent. Wasn't getting ahead. And, when I found my partner in life, my wife, it made sense to get land together and stop wasting money on rent. And with my business, Modern Health Coach, online and in person, I was able to do that and not having to drive into the office every day here at the home office. So it's really a lifestyle choice that allows me to maximize my health and conserve my wealth, so I can go further and not have to, get off the hamster wheel, so to speak. Because the rent and the utilities and all that add up. My solar system was $5,000. Certainly that's a pop, but it pays for itself in the long run. So just trying to get ahead of the curve, to get off the hamster wheel is the motivation, and a quality of life that you really can't get when you're gridded up with everybody, sleeping next to Wi-Fi and smart meters and, right. The whole air pollution and all that in a tight city. It really is a testament to the peace and quiet you find out here, and it just helps clear your mind and focus in on what you really need in life, not what you were told you think you need.
Now, that's one of the great things about being an entrepreneur. You have an online business. You're living off the grid. You're talking to me on a satellite phone, 40 acres of land, just away from the grind. So talk to us about what Modern Health Coach is and what your business is about.
Sure, would love to. Yeah, Modern Health Coach is next level products, services, and information. There's a lot of mis and disinformation out there. So I try to, in my video and blog on the webpage, you'll find a lot of free information that really helps you connect dots that in the conventional Western medicine aren't even looked at. So I dwell outside in the alternative world, holistic and naturopathic alternative to drugs, surgery, and radiation. That's not a way to get well. That's sick care. So I really work on healthcare and really empower people and give them the information, the tools to take their own health in their own hands. Primary care health provider right here in your own hands. No one's going to do a better job than you.
Now, were you doing this?
Empower you.
Were you doing this in New York and LA and Pittsburgh as well? Were you a health coach in the city environment as well?
I started out in the environmental career. When I went to college, the earth processes made the most sense. So I got an environmental degree. I worked 13 years in the environmental career, cleaning up 16 plus states, soil, water, air. I was half in the field, half in the office, project manager for several big environmental companies. And I was personally exposed. So it kind of led into it. I had a sports injury with ice hockey accident, slipped, chipped my kneecap, had knee surgery 03, hip surgery 05, chiropractic from a car crash in 07, totaled car. And then I had a weekend party lifestyle back in my 20s. So during the week, I was chemically exposed. During the weekend, I was chemically exposed. I had physical traumas. So I was a physical and chemical mess. And then I was listening to doctors tell me, you're going to need hip replacement. You're going to need this. You're going to need that. Programming me with a bunch of crap that I really didn't want to accept. So I turned my science degree loose on health, did 20-some thousand hours of research on health and wellness and solved my own problems and turned it into a company. So my passion became a way of life. And
so how do you?
It took a long time and a lot of work.
So how do you monitor?
I had a full-time job while I did part-time research. So it's challenging, but it's worth it.
So how did you how do you monetize it? Do you work as a consultant? Is there a fee for your site? People that build online businesses, may struggle with some of the different, revenue models. How does your revenue model work?
Well, it's mainly products online and services in person. So the products I have from 30 manufacturers here, all in the United States. And I went on Expos East and West to look for those. So there's some products that sell better than others, certainly, and those keep the bread coming in. But the local services is another aspect of it, and it's for people that are kind of spit out by Western medicine that are left on hospice. Hopefully, before that, you don't want to be told that by a doctor. So it's people that with chronic conditions that can't get the relief that they find, things in between the lines. You don't want to just chase your symptoms with drugs. There's a lot better ways to get to the root of the problem. That's what kinesiology and my health coaching does, is it gets to the root of the problem. Probably anaerobic, probably acidic, probably lacking minerals, probably overstressed. These are common problems. And having an environmental degree, square one of your health is your environment. So if you got mold and radon or geopathic stress, air pollution, it all adds up, and it's a toxic burden that people need to rectify. And the better you feel, the more you get done. So you can appreciate that as a businessman.
What was the tipping point in your professional urban life before you went off the grid to turn you into the holistic approach to medicine and well care? Did you have a certain reaction to a drug, or was it just yourself educating yourself on alternative medicine? What inspired you?
Well, it was the lack of results I got from Western medicine on my hip, knee, and back issues as a teen, kid, and an adult, and listening to my doctors and not getting the answers that I thought I could muster up with my willpower. So out of sheer willpower and a result of not wanting to hear what I was told, and breaking at a moment where I broke down in the physical therapy room after the knee and the hip surgery, it still wasn't right, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So I got mad, and I turned my science degree loose on health, solved my own problems, became a way of life. And because I know there's more out there, I turn over the rocks and I connect the dots, and that's what it takes, because the easy answers aren't going to get you far. The ones they push in your face on TV and in the media aren't really, going to get you too far down the road. They may help, but
now since
so that's why I've connected dots and help people, do the same.
Since you've started down the holistic path, you personally, tell me about your health and wellness now with the conditions that you just described versus what you were getting from traditional medicine.
Well, you got to get down the inflammation. You got to get down the acidity. You got to learn on your breath. I mean, I have a great quality of life. I'm 43 and I'm running around the yard doing work all day in my moccasins. I get things done, and it really takes a regime, a protocol on your AM to PM, what you do throughout the day, garbage in, garbage out on a computer programmer. Same thing for a body. So you got to put in the fuel. You want to put in the 93 octane, not the 87. Get you further down the road. So the better, the better you feel, the more you get done. So that's my specialty, and it is about getting the bad out and then putting in the good. So you got to take out the crap, put in the nutrients, and you'll start getting back to the body heals the body. You just got to give it the right information and give it the support emotionally. And, like I was saying, and it doesn't cost as much as you think. Some supplements out there versus the pills. I mean, the Western medicine model is way off the roof. An ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure, right?
Right.
So the ounce of prevention isn't as costly as a pound of cure.
Currently talking to Brad Molnar, founder of Modern Health Coach. Learn more at modernhealthcoach.com. When we come back from the break, I'm going to ask you about some specific treatments, holistic approaches, and some of the inputs that we're putting into our body that we can treat with some of his approaches to have better health, less stress, and just a better overall quality of life. You're currently listening to That Business Show 2.0 with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeagers. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeagers, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Jamie Maloney here, back with That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business. Talking about holistic health options today with Brad Molnar. He is the founder of Modern Health Coach, and you can learn more at that website, modernhealthcoach.com, and talking about his experience with Western medicine, how it wasn't providing the results and the cures that he needed. We began to find the holistic approach to medicine, and it's made a tremendous difference in his overall health. And so, Brad, share with us some of the basics of living that so many of us go through and what we should be doing to counteract those. First question has to do with sugar. I hear so much about how bad sugar is. If we make one change in our daily environment, just removing sugar would probably help tremendously. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, that's sugar is the white devil. It is no good, and it causes a glucose. You're a hybrid that runs on ketones from fat and glucose from protein and carbs. And what I would recommend for people is having a fat drink for breakfast, a blended salad for lunch, and a carbohydrate with some veggies for dinner. That is a program that I've been on that is simple. I have in my blog some shake recipes. But basically, if you eliminate the sugar, you don't get on the roller coaster of the glucose. So if you start your day with the fat drink, I have like a herbal tea with coconut oil, butter, and ghee, and melt it. And I add in some superfoods to it. And that starts your body burning on the ketones. In ketosis, you're anti-inflammatory, which is a huge problem with the inflammation. Getting the inflammation down is the first step in healing. Right, when you bang your elbow into the iron post, it swells up. Getting the inflammation out is the first step. You can bend your elbow and get the blood back in there to heal. So there's a lot of inflammatory foods. The wheat is weaponized. The corn is weaponized. If the seeds come from a lab, oh God, stay away from them.
What about
you want the heirloom brands? Go ahead.
What about the natural sugars that are found in fruits? I mean, obviously you can eliminate sugars in the teas and the sodas that we all drink, but you're going to get sugar in the fruits that you eat. Is that okay right there? We shouldn't be looking to replace fruits, should we?
If your only sugar comes from fruit, you're doing great. And you don't want to take on calories in your liquids. You want your liquids to be water, filtered, and structured. Lemon salt is the best Gatorade ever. The Gatorade has flame retardants in it. Okay, you want to get your calories out of the fluids, and you want to alkalize and add the water. If you think you're hungry, have a glass of water first. Mm-hmm. And if you're still hungry, then you might be. But you're usually thirsty before you're hungry. So I tell people, if you're 100 pounds, you need at least 50 ounces of water a day, up to a 1-to-1 ratio of 100 ounces of water a day. So you want to drink your weight in ounces up to your body weight, right? Okay. So, and I like to front load it in the morning. Like when you flush the toilet, what do? You add water. Well, same thing in you. So in the morning, I'll have like 3 quarts or half a gallon of water plus before my breakfast, which is a fat drink. And then I have the blendy for lunch, which is a salad in a blender. You can do other things. And then for dinner, rice and veggies, So that's a really easy way to blueprint the way to being well. And it takes getting away from the junk food and the sodas and the diets. That's all. High fructose corn syrup's crack. You don't want that's going to cause the glucose, and the bugs in your stomach make your brain think a different way. So if you're craving sodas all day, those bugs, there's more nerves from your gut to your brain than your brain to your gut. So those bugs in your gut are telling you what to do. It's like a zombie film. It's not good.
What about using, obviously stepping off of sugar is a drastic change for many people. What about using honey as a sweetener, as an alternative, or some type of, just a stepping stone? How would you advise people to get off of sugar?
Slowly and surely. I mean, you can do you want to ease off. I mean, honey is good. And I prefer to have it at nighttime. Don't have your sugars in the morning because you're going to start a glucose crash. And then to break the crash, you're going to need more sugar. So if your first crash is at dinner on rice and veggies, which is a big carb, then you're going to crash and go to bed. Mm-hmm. It'll be perfect for you. And the protein you have it in the afternoon. It'll keep your stomach. You'll have time to digest it. Your enzymes are still going strong. So having the fat drink in the morning will reduce your sugar intake and your cravings for. Again, you're a hybrid. You run on ketones from fat, glucose from carbs, and protein. So if you have your fat for breakfast, you're not going to crave sugar. So it's just a replacement.
All right. What about, you hear so much about, diabetes and heart disease. Is this all just because of sugar and the high fructose corn syrup? Are there some other inputs that are also interfering with our, our weight and our heart disease?
Well, heart disease, the diabetes, yeah, it is the sugar. And you get it from bread. There's high fructose corn syrup in bread, and all that, just stay away from the middle of the grocery store. Just go to the produce, go get some grass-fed beef, go get some free-range or organic eggs, and get out of there. Don't go in the middle of the grocery store. It's a trap, and it's not good for you. Don't zigzag every dang aisle. Just go around the rim and get out of there. The heart disease is from calcium in the water. It in vitamin K2 will get the calcium out of your arteries and into your bones, and silica as well. So there are all these symptoms have underlying root causes that aren't even looked at by the average person. I've spent, 20-some thousand hours digging this stuff up. And when you start connecting these dots, people are so far off base, and even Western medicine's 20 years behind. There's a lot of information out there. If you put together with a sound mind, you can leap beyond all these symptoms and just be radiant, glowing health. And that's the name of the game, is take care of your own butt. No one's going to do a better job, So
I've had
inform yourself and trust the source. If it's coming, go ahead.
I've had that conversation with people about water and the contaminants that are found inside bottled water, the silica that you mentioned, and how it's produced draws in a lot of contaminants. How should somebody source their water to be, perfectly healthy and safe with regard to the water we're drinking?
Well, there's many ways. You need a water filter, like a Berkey water filter that gets like hundreds of contaminants out. And then after, you need to structure it, or you could get a water distiller that purifies it the most. Reverse osmosis is second most purifying. So those two ways they're a little costly, or a good water filter by Berkey's a couple $100 and it'll last years. And then you got to structure your water with a vortex or a little funnel device, because that hexagonal water makes plants go 3 or 4 times better. So the water coming out of pipes is all banged up, and it doesn't fit into the cells. It's like throwing tennis balls through a chain link fence versus stones. You want smaller water particle size, not big globs that your body can't use.
Now you mentioned
and your body's craving good structure.
Now, you mentioned bread a little bit. I know white bread turns into sugar as soon as it hits your stomach. So all the starches, spaghetti, pastas, all that stuff turns into sugar as soon as it hits your stomach. So with regard to bread, if I just buy wheat bread, am I protecting myself? Is that a good source for wheat, or I should say bread?
Even the whole grain stuff isn't all great, you think. If it's not organic, I buy the Ezekiel. It's a brand. It's sprouted. It's organic. Anything sprouted is 3 to 4 times more nutritious than just the regular dry grown plants. So if you get a sprouted organic bread from Ezekiel, no plug here, that'd be the way to go. And certainly a little bread and butter, that's the substance of life. I still enjoy it too, but I don't have it for breakfast. I don't have toast for breakfast. I'll have it for dinner, maybe lunch if I'm in a pinch, So that'd be a good way for people to,
right, cut
that out.
So much of our food intake, I know, in the professional environment has to do with stress relief. It has to, we got to quit, living to eat. We got to eat to live, as opposed to what I said before, living to eat. I know it's difficult for me. That's what I use as my stress relief. You're off the grid. Have you noticed a tremendous reduction in your stress? I mean, how's that coming for you?
Yeah, I have. It's a really nice life. I just went back to LA, where I came from recently, to pick up a car, and I couldn't wait to get back. I lived in Venice Beach for 5 years, and it was just so noisy, and all the traffic and the homeless and the stinks and the gray brown fog over the whole. I couldn't wait to get back, man. Like, it takes a while to deprogram from being all ramped up. We don't realize how ramped up we are when we're running around from box to box, stressing over dollars. So it's really worth it. And if you can, land out here is $1,000 an acre. So I mean, why pay $1,000 a month when you can get $1,000 an acre? So it just makes sense. You don't want to you want to get off the hamster wheel. The first one to retire wins, right?
Right.
So if I can get my monthly nut down and still have income, then I'm doing pretty good.
Got about a minute left. Some supplements that you would recommend that people incorporate into their diet.
These right here, Q-chips. Information. I have almost 20,000 codes in a hologram. Digital homeopathy. You can increase frequencies you want and help negate frequencies you don't want. It can put vitamins and minerals in there and all types of organ functions. So those are my best sellers. Those are in 35 countries. I've sold Q-chips and other holograms before that for the last 7-8 years. It's a remarkable technology. It's like a flash drive. You can put, I think, a half an inch of a hologram can hold a terabyte of information. Well, your body picks up on that somehow. I believe it's your junk DNA, and it works. I can get a $2 Chuck Charles Schwab wine and change the flavor of it by putting it on that card for a few minutes.
Right.
That's my Pepsi challenge to prove how it works.
Wow.
So information, all matter is surrounded by a field of information. You can influence that by chips, by talking, by what you say. It all matters.
Right.
So, and again, vitamins, minerals, a good green drink. My wife and I have a superfood formula company, B-Rad and Joya's. We make a, sprouted brown rice protein, superfood green formula. You can have plants from the Amazon or plants from Iowa. So I prefer the Amazon because you're going to be a lot more nutrient dense.
All right, well, we got to wrap it up. People can find all of this on modernhealthcoach.com. So Brad Molnar, the founder, thank you so much for being with us today. All right, again, that's Brad Molnar, founder of Modern Health Coach.
My pleasure. You guys be well.
All right, thanks, Brad. modernhealthcoach.com. And again, you've been listening to That Business Show 2.0, where business becomes show business.